letter, I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon has come this night to Messina.
He is very nearby this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
Well, victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine named Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed bettered expectation than you must expect of me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be much glad of it.
I have already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him. Even so much that joy cannot show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Kind overflow of kindness. Never has there been a face so true as the one that is watched. How much better is it to weep at joy than to joy at weeping?
Pray you, is Senor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
See that you ask for, niece.
Senor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
I pray you, how many has he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many has he killed? For indeed, I did promise to eat all of his children.
You tax Senor Benedict too much, niece, or if he'll be meat. I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had musty victual, and he hath hoped to eat it. He is a very valiant Frenchman, and he has an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier, too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He's no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
Do not mistake my niece, sir. There is a merry war betwixt Senor Benedict and herself. They never meet, but there is a skirmish of wits between them.
I see. Lady, the gentleman is not in your books.
No, and were I would burn my studies. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squire now that will make the voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the tinker runs presently mad. God help the Claudio. He has caught the Benedict. It will cost him 1,000 pounds ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
2 good friends?
He will never run mad, niece.
No, until a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Leonato, are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never come trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace, but trouble being gone, comfort should remain, and you take your departure, sorrow abides, and happiness takes its leave.
You embrace your charges too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
The mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Senor Benedict, no, for then you were a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are. Being a man, truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
Father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you would still be talking, Senor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What's my dear lady disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she has such meat food defeated as Senor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you can come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain I am loved of all women, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart. For truly, I love none.
A great happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I'm of your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than hear a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestined scratched face.
scratching could not make it worse than 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot, teacher.
Whereas my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way. In God's name, I have done.
You always end with the jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Senor Claudio, Senor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
You swear you shall be forsworn. Bid you welcome, my lord, for being reconciled to your brother the prince. I owe you all my duty.
I thank you, sir. I am not a man of many words, but I thank you.
Please of your grace to lead on.
Your hand, Leonato. We will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do? Or my simple, true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, if they... Methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her. That were she other than as she is unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in a sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her to inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow? Or do you play the flouting jack and tell us Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go in the song?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I need see no such matter. There is her cousin, and if she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her in beauty as much as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if here would be my wife.
Has it come to this? Hath not the world one man that will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go, too, if faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sign away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro has returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
Charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio. I can be secret as a dumbman. I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now, that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If this were so, so were it uttered.
Amen. And if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor how she should be worthy. The opinion fire cannot melt out of me. I will die on it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood than with love, than I will gain again with drinking. Prick mine eyes out with the ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, thou will prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot him. And he who hits me, let him be clapped on the back and be called Adam.
Well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonato's, commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you.
To the tuition of God from my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ends any farther, examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
My liege, your highness may now do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonardo any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When you went onward to this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking in the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is. Thing I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou will be like a lover presently, and tire the error with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and her father, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end what thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly do you administer to love, that no loves grief by 'tis complexion. But lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have solved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look what will serve as fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight, for I will assume thy part in some disguise. And I will tell fair Hero that I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. And after to her father I will break, and the conclusion is, she will be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Brother, I can tell you strange news that you yet not dreamt of.
Are they good?
Well, as the event stamps them, but they have a good cover. They show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio, walking in a thick-pleached alley in mine orchard, were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece and your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance, and if he found her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow. I will send for him, and question him yourself.
No, we will but hold it as a dream till it appears itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, so that she may be better prepared peradventure this is true. Go you and tell her of it.
What the good, dear my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There was no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at not man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root, but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the harvest, the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in its grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all and to fashion a carriage to rob love from many. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle, and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore I have decreed not to sing in any cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I come yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build itself mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right-hand man.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Mary on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking in a musty room, comes to me the prince and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I then whipped me behind the arras and heard it there agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, he would give her to Count Claudio.
Come, come, let us Luther. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can crow him anyway, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Come, let us to the great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were on my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We will wait upon your lordship.
Not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not. How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
You are an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other is too like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
Why, my troth niece, thou wilt never get a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue. Faith, you're too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said that God sends a cursed cow short horns, but a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, you will get no horns?
Just if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am knocking upon my knees every morning and evening. Oh Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the wooing.
You could light upon a husband that hath no beard.
Well, what shall I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman. He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, well, I am not for him. Therefore I will even take 6 pence in earnest of the bear herd, and lead his apes into hell.
Well, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband, niece.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a piece of valiant dust, to make an account of her life to a wad of wayward gnarl? No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Remember, daughter, if the prince do solicit you of that kind, you should know your answer. look, the revelers are entering. Come, take good room.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Blue skies.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend? They begin to dance.
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so?
When I like your favor, or God defend the lute should be like the case.
Speak low if you speak love.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he ever make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy, for he both pleases men and angers them. And then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he is somewhere in the feast. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you said.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which peradventure not marked at nor laughed at, will strike him into a melancholy. And then there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn in her father to talk with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visitor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother and his love. He is enamored on Hero. She is no equal from his birth. I pray you dissuade him from her. You may play the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I, too. And he swore that he should marry her tonight.
But come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. It is certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow, about your own business, Count. What fashion will you wear the garland of? Around your neck like a usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince has got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like an honest driver. So they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would serve you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
It will not be. I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into the sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me? The prince's fool? It may be I go under that title because I am married. Yea, but so I am not apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, senor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren.
The Lady Beatrice has quarreled you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she's much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking that I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I had been duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark, the whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there would be no living near her. She would invent the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules turn spit, yea, and have cleft his glove to make the fire, too. Come, talk not of her. You shall find that she is an infernal ape in good apparel. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Oh, God, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Senor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So, I would not he should do me, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to see.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore art thou sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
I'faith, lady, I think your blazon is to be true, though I'll be sworn, if it be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broken with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter. The grace hath made the match, and all grace is say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfect herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Good Lord, for alliance. Thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I shall sit in a corner and cry, hi-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's kidding. I had rather have one of your father's kidding. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Oh, your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, not unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me, I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
By no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Come. You shake the head at so long, a breathing, but I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go duly by us. I will be in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match. I doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
You have my help, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. Why, he is of noble strain, of approved valor, and confirmed honestly. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, why, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be mentionable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show my briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unreasonable hour of the night, appoint her to look out her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Fail not to tell him how he hath wronged his reputation by marrying Count Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale such as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero and kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue.
Only to despite them I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Offer them seals such as like of your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid, who you have discovered thus. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likely than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me term Margaret Hero. Her Margaret term me Claudio. And bring them to see this the very night of the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and it will be such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy will be called assurance, and all preparation shall be overthrown.
Grow this what adverse issue it can, I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
Boy!
Senor!
In my window chamber lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, becomes the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. And now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. May I be so converted and seek these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. I'll virtuous, or I'll never cheat her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or I nod for an angel. The prince and Monsieur love. I will hide me in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself.
Oh, very well, my lord. The music ended. Will fit the kid box with a pennyworth.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, good, my lord. Hath not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face on his own perfection. I pray thee sing, and let me woo no more.
Because you talk of wooing, I shall sing.
Isn't it romantic merely to be young on such a night as this? Isn't it romantic? Every note that's sung is like a lover's kiss. Sweet symbols in the moonlight. Do you mean that I will fall in love perchance? Isn't it romance?
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
No fame. Thou sing'st well enough for a shift. Yea, marry. Dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece, Beatrice, was in love with Signor Benedict? What was it you told me of today? That your niece, Beatrice, was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, I. Stalk on, the fowl sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should dote on Signor Benedict, who with all outward behaviors she seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sit the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I know not what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. That's the infinite of thought.
Bait the hook well. This fish will bite.
What affects, my lord? She will... You heard my daughter tell you how?
She did indeed.
How, I pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
Well, I pray you tell Benedict of it. and hear what he will say.
We're good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he loves her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her rather than she will bate one breath than accustomed crossness.
She doth well if she should make tender of her love. 'Tis very possible he'll scorn it, for the man, as we all know, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God, and in my mind, very, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be so valiant.
Well, I am so sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while, for I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
Come, Lord, shall we walk to dinner?
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
The sport will be when they hold one an opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene that I would see, which will merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call him to dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive any love come from her. They say, too, that she would rather die than give any sort of affection. I did never think to marry her. I must not seem proud. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis true. I can bear witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so. I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me? Why, by my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument for her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some off-quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man can appreciate the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences in these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No. The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I didn't think I would live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love on her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice. I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure then in the message.
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a doll with all. You have no stomach, senor? Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those things than you took pains to think. That's as much to say as any pains I take is as easy as thanks.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. So that thou overheardest us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower, where honeysuckles by the sun forbid the sun to enter, like favorites made proud by princes that advance their pride against that power that bred it. There will she hide her to listen our purpose. This is thy office. Fare thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come. I warrant thee presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedict is in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's craft arrow made, that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close by the ground to hear our conference.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish cut with her golden oars the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couching the woodbine curvature. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then go we near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as wild and coy as the haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as they have yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart as of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-revered.
Sure, I think so. And therefore, it certainly were not good she knew his love, lest she'll make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw man, how wise, how noble, how young, how rarely featured. But she would spell him backward, fair-faced. She would swear the gentleman should be her sister. Speaking, why a vein blown with all winds? If silent, why a block moved with none? So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue, simpleness and merit purchasing.
Sure, sure. Such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so cold and so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice's cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in signs, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as to die with victim.
Yet, tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth now know how much an ill work may poison like him.
Do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy. Always accepted, my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madame. Speaking my fancy, Signor Benedict, for shape, forbearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report throughout Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had. When are you married, madame?
Why, every day, tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires, and have thy counsel, which is best to furnish me tomorrow.
She is blind, I warrant you. We have caught her, madame.
If it proves so, then loving goes by halves. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in my ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt. Farewell. And maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the backs of such. And Benedict. Love on. I will requite thee, timing my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, I shall incite thee to find out love's up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I will only be bold with Benedict for his company. For from the only crown of his head to the sole of his foot, he's all mirth.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
I have the toothache.
Ooh, draw it.
Hang it!
Nay, nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too, I warrant it. One that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
For my life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they
My
meet.
lord and brother, God save you.
Good evening, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter and aim better at me, by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely so ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight, and you shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her, then tomorrow wed her, but it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her, tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there I will shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will joy in thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther till you are my witnesses. Bear us coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
O day untowardly turned.
O mischief, strangely thwarted.
O plague right well prevented, so will you say when you have seen the sequel.
Are you
do good men and true?
Yea, or else it were pity but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most disartless man to be constable?
Hugh Oatcake, sir, or George Seacole, for they can read and write.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable.
You knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why give God thanks, and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. You were thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How, if he will not stand?
Why then, take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of such a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable, and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at the alehouses and bid those that are drunk and get them to bed.
How, if they will not?
Why then, let them along till they are sober. If they make you not then the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly by your office you may. But I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, byre lady, I think he cannot.
Oh, 5 shillings to one on it. With any man that knows the statutes, he may stay him. Marry not without the prince be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
Byre lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call up me. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own. And good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench till 2, and then all to bed.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you watch about Signor Leonato's door, for the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant, I beseech you.
What? Conrad!
Peace! Stir not!
Conrad, I say!
Dear man, I am at thy elbow.
Therefore know that tonight I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should...
Thou shouldst rather ask if any villainy should be so rich, for when rich villains have need of poor ones make what price they will.
I know that deformed. He's been a vile thief this 7 year. He goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Know that tonight I have wooed Margaret, Lady Hero's waiting gentlewoman by the name of Hero. She leads me out her mistress's window, bids me 1,000 times good night, and I tell this take vilely. But first, you should know that the Prince and Claudio, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw from afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
I thought that Margaret was here.
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew that she was Margaret, and, partly by his oath, which did possess them, partly by the dark of night, which did deceive them, but mainly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made, away went Claudio enraged, swore that he would meet her at the temple next morning, and there, in front of the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw overnight, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you, in the prince's name, stand!
Call up the right master constable. We here have discovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that ever was in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him, he wears a lock.
Masters, never speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity being taken up with these men's bill.
A commodity in question. Come, we'll obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise, and bid her come hither.
I will, lady.
Troth, I think your rubato were better.
No, pray thee, Meg. I'll wear this.
By my troths, not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this. God give me joy to wear it, and my heart is exceedingly heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Why upon thee? Art thou not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence a husband. None, I think, as is the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my Lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
Good morrow, cuss.
Morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Are you in the sick too?
I am all out of other too, methinks. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. Oh, by my troth, I am exceedingly ill. Hi-ho!
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all. H. Oh, God help me. God help me. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some distilled Carduus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? Have you some moral in this, Benedictus?
Moral? No, I might troth. I have no moral reasoning. I mean, plain holly thistle. You may think, perchance, that I think you were in love. Nay, by'r lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think of. If I would think my heart out of thinking that you were in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love, yet Benedict was such another, and now is he become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging, and how you may be coveted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What face is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madame, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to the church.
Help to dress me, good cause. Good Meg, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this is it, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, good friends?
Good woman Verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old woman, sir, and her wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but in faith honest as the skin between her brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living, that is an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous.
I must leave.
One word, sir. Our watch, sir, hath indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before forward.
Take their examination and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be sufficient.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lord, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner, go! Get you Francis C. Cole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination these men. We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive some of them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer and set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Come, Father Francis, be brief. Speak only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
To be married to a friar, you come to marry her.
Either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined. I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer none.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now, interjections?
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you take with free and unconstrained soul, give me this maid, your daughter?
Really, son is God to give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpose this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood and modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were made by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you and your brood have vanquished the resistance of her youth.
I know what you would say. If I have known her, you will say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonardo, I never tempted her with word too large.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee, seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as in the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or more are those or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these words spoke, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True. Oh God.
Leonardo, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face heroes? Are our eyes our own?
What of this?
Let me but move one question to your daughter. And by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
Bid you answer as you were my child.
Oh, God defend me. How I am beset. What kind of catechizing call you this?
Make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry, that can Hero. Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What manner was he talked with you yesternight, out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then, you're no maid. Leonardo, I'm sorry you must hear upon mine honor. Myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There is not chastity enough in language, without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
O hero, what a hero hadst thou been if half thy outward braces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure in piety and in pious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it more be gracious.
No man's dagger here a point for me.
Why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light, smother her spirits up.
How now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why does not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Do not live, hero, do not open thine eyes, for did I think thou wouldst not so quickly die, thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames. Why ever wast thou so lovely in mine eyes? Why did I not with charitable hand take up a beggar's issue at my gate to smirch a thus admired with infamy? I might have said that no part of this is mine, that this shame has derived itself from unknown loins, but mine and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on. Mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine. Valuing of her. She has fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath 2 drops few to wash her clean again, and salt too few to season her foul tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I'm so attired with wonder that I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly. Although until last night I have this 12 months been her bedfellow.
Confirmed and confirmed. Oh, that which was stronger made than that which was barred up with ribs of iron. With the prince and Claudio life who love her so that speaking on this foulness washed with tears again, hence from her. Let her die.
Hear me a little, for I have only silent been for so long, and given way unto this course of fortune by noting of the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames of angel whiteness. Beat away those blushes, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn away the error that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool, trust not my reading nor my observations, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting arrow.
Friar, it cannot be. She not denies it. Why seekst thou to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. O my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Accuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprison in the princes.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. But if they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Mary, this well carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. Were not for that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She, dying, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For so it falls out that what we have we prize not to the worth whilst we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost, why, then we rack the value. Then we find the virtue that possession would not show us whilst it was ours. So it will fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into a study of imagination. And every lovely organ of her life will apparel in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life, into the eye and prospect of his soul. And when she lived indeed, then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true.
That I flow in grief, smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for to strain sores, strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Sweet Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a little longer.
I will not desire that.
Have no reason, I do it freely.
I do love nothing more in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
What strange is the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I'm sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear, and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that there is none left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, Beatrice.
I'm gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height a villain, that hath slandered, scorned,
Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged. She is slandered. She is undone. Princes and counties, surely a goodly count, a princely testimony. Oh, that I were a man for his sake. Oh, that I had any friend who would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into curtsies, valor into compliment, and manner only turned into tongue. And trim ones, too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than by swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge you. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go comfort your cousin. I must say that she is dead. And so, farewell.
Is our dissembly appeared?
Which be the malefactors?
Marry, that am I. And my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
Which are the offenders that are to be brought forth? Let them come before, Master Constable.
Yea, marry, and let them come before me. Masters, do you serve God?
Hey, sir. We hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. And write God first, for God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you. But I will go about with him. Come you hither, sirrah, a word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are the accusers.
Yea, marry, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name. Accuse these men.
Oh, this man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Oh, pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else, fellow?
Marry, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing Lady Hero wrongfully.
That burglary as ever was committed.
What else, fellow?
That Count Claudio did mean, upon his words, to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
What else?
That is all.
Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, have these men bound and brought to Leonardo's. I will go before him and show him their testimonial.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Oh, wait, you are an ass. You are an ass.
Oh, dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my ears? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. Oh, but masters, remember that I am an ass, though it be not written down yet forget not that I am an ass. Oh no, thou villain, thou art full of piety, and shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and, which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina, and one that knows the law go to, and a rich fellow enough go to, and a fellow that has losses, and one that has 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Bring him away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water into a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me that father that so loved his child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. But there is no such man. For, brother, men can counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves do not feel, but tasting it, their counsel turns to passion, which before would give perceptual medicine to rage. Fed a strong madness in a silken thread, charmed ache with air and agony in words. No, 'tis all men's office to speak patience to those that bring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore give me no counsel, my grief can cry louder than advertisement.
Therein do men from children nothing differ.
I pray thee peace. I will be flesh and blood, for there was never yet philosopher that could endure the toothache patient. However, they have writ the style of the gods and made a push of chance and sufferance.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There, thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me hero is belied, and that shall Claudio, and so shall the prince know, and all of them that such dishonor.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Oh, good e'en.
A good day to both of you.
We have some haste, Leonato.
Haste, my lord. Oh, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now, or all is one?
Nay, do not quarrel with us, you old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou wrongst me, thou dissembler, thou. Nay, never lay thee hand on thy sword. I fear thee not.
Marry, bestrew my hand if it should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
You speak like a daughter nor a fool. Is that a privilege of age to brag what I have done being young, or what would do were I not old? No, Claudio, to thy head, thou hast so wronged mine innocent child to me that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with grey hairs and bruise of many days do challenge thee to trial of a man. My slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she has lied buried with her ancestors, or in a tomb where never scandal slept, save theirs of hers, and framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
You say not right, old man.
Away. I will not have to deal with you.
Canst thou so doubt me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou shalt kill me, thou wilt kill a man.
Content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead, slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man indeed as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milksops.
Brother Anthony.
Hold you content. What, man? I know them, yeah, and what they weigh even to the utmost scruple. Scamming, pout-facing, fashion-monging boys that lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander, go antically and show outward hideousness, and speak off 6 dangerous words, how they might hurt their enemies if they durst. And this is all.
Come, do not meddle in this. I will deal with this.
Gentlemen both, you will not hear your waking patient. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
Oh, my lord, my lord!
I will not hear you.
Come away, I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
Oh, see, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, senior, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, senor. You're almost come to part, almost a fray.
We'd like to have had our 2 noses snapped off with the 2 old men without teeth.
Leonato and his brother, what thinkest thou?
In a false quarrel there is no true vow. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down trying to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side? Now, as I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What courage, man! What thou care kill the cat? Thou hast metal enough in thee to kill care.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
But yet, for all that, and if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. The old man's daughter told us all.
All. And moreover, God saw him when he had hid in the garden.
But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yes, and text underneath. Here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which, thank God, heard not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, has fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, she and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with you.
He's in earnest.
A profound earnest. And I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
How now? 2 of my brother's men's bound? Horatio 1. Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruth. Secondarily, they are slanders. 6th and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. 6th, and lastly, why they are committed. And to conclude, what you lay to their charge. Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Your wisdoms cannot discover, these shallow fools have brought to light. When the dark of night overheard me confessing to this man, how your brother Don John incensed me in a slander he wrote. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Lady Hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her.
But did my brother set thee on to this?
Yea, and paid me richly for it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
We hear, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Oh, come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time, our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And, masters, do not forget to specify, when time and space may suffice, that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato and the sexton, too.
These is the villain. Let me see his eyes, and if I note another man like him, I may avoid him.
You would know your honor. Look on me.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray that both of you possess the people of Messina how innocent she died. Your love can labor aught in sad invention, then hang you an epitaph on her tomb and sing to her bones. Sing to her tonight. And tomorrow morning, come you to my house, and because you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter who is almost a copy of my child that has died. She is alone heir to both of us. If you give her the right that you should have given my daughter, then so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer and dispose for henceforth poor Claudio.
And I expect your coming tomorrow. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall be brought face to face with Margaret, who I believe is packed in all of this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul, she is not. Nor knew not what she did when she talked to me. She has always been just and virtuous in everything she has done.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, the plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in this punishment. And also, the watch heard them talk of one deformed. They say he wears a key in his ear and a lock hanging by it, and borrows money in God's name, the which he hath used so long and never paid, that now men grow hard-hearted, and will leave nothing for God's sake. Pray you examine him upon that point. Come, neighbor.
Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, but stay till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. But ere I go, let me leave with that I came, which is with knowing what has passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul breath, and foul breath is but foul wind, and foul wind is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast threaded the word right out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a cow. And I pray thee now tell me, for which of my bad parts did thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil, that they would not admit a single good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love? A good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will. And now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me, and amend. There I will lead you to, for here comes one in haste.
Madame, you must come to your uncle. Yonder's old coil at home. It's proved my lady hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John, who is the author of it all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Is this the monument of Leonata?
It is, my lord.
Done to death by slanderous tongues, the hero that here lies. Death gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Now, unto thy bones, good night. Yearly will I do this right. Good morrow, masters, each his several way.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
Well, I'm glad all things sort so well.
Well, daughter and gentlewomen all, withdraw you to a chamber by yourselves, and when I call for you, come hither masked. Must be father to your brother's daughter, and give her to young Claudio.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonato, the truth is, good Signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
What's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your goodwill may stand with ours, this day to be conjoined in a state of honorable marriage, which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
At my help, here comes the Prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Which is the lady I must seize upon?
Same as her.
Why then, she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
Know that you will not till you take her hand in front of this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And while you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero!
Nothing's certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero! Hero that is dead!
Yes, she died, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify when after the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Fair and soft, friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do you not love me?
Why, no more than reason.
Why then, your uncle and the Prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do you not love me?
No more than reason.
Well then, my cousin, Margaret, and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, niece, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
Miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but in this way I take you for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
My lord, your brother John is taken in fight and brought with armed men to Messina.
Think not of him until tomorrow. I shall devise a brave punishment for him. Strike up, band.